What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for June 10th, 2023. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. As you can see, I am not in my normal spot. I'm trying to record. There might be some interruptions here with people coming in and out. This is the little breakfast area. I got up early to try to get it before people came in. But I hit the ball yesterday. Didn't necessarily hit it well, but I hit it. But a good time going back out there today, probably Sunday as well. And I do apologize for the sound. I did not account for the echo, but that's all right. But the big story, Phillies yesterday walked it off again for the second straight day. Schwarbomb with the bomb as they beat the Dodgers 5-4. Ranger Suarez looked good, 6 innings pitched, 1 run. And I mean, they're fighting. I like the fight in this team. I like how they're never out of things. I like how they got it going on. And I'm almost ready to jump on and say they've turned the corner. I've been saying for a week or so now that they're on the brink. But this is a great win, 6 in a row. I still want to see 1 of 2 more the rest of this weekend, either tonight or tomorrow. But overall, that was a good win against a good team, and I will gladly take it. Unfortunately, the Marlins and the Braves are also hot, so they're not necessarily moving up in the standings and all, but eventually that'll kind of work itself out. But they did pass the Mets, which is good. Remember I said we want to pick off one at a time. So the Mets, now let's eye up the Marlins. This came up, and it's not necessarily related to anything on the pod, but the Sixers don't have any draft picks this year. Did not realize that, and that is just – it's crazy to me that they don't have one single draft pick. So I think it's even more important to figure out what the hell is going to happen with Harden. But just odd, and it's just eerily similar to what happened at the end of the Moses Malone, Dr. J era with Barkley. And they didn't really have draft picks because they had sold their soul so much to get those other picks. Not going to lie, makes me a little nervous. But we shall see what happens. But Eagles OTAs are over by all measures. From what I was reading, it seems like everything worked out well and they look good. Obviously, you can only take so much from OTAs due to the fact that they don't really do any hitting or anything like that. But the consensus was that Jalen Hurts looks like he's actually getting better, which is phenomenal. I think the sky's the limit for this team. I'm looking forward to seeing what it brings. Speaking of the Eagles, PhillyGoat.com received an email last night. They have a new Eagles design. If you remember from back in the 90s with Calvin and Hobbes, and everybody had those T-shirts and bumper stickers of Calvin peeing on the logo and whatever team it was or whatever, whether it was Ford, Chevy, the Cowboys or whatever. But they have a new one with Ben Franklin instead of Calvin doing the peeing. He's doing it on the Cowboys logo. So definitely go check that out. It's a great addition just in time for Father's Day. While you're there, use the promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. PhillyGoat.com. Make sure it has the goat on the sleeve. And you know it's authentic. And again, people are going to ask you about it. And if you have the GOAT, that's the way to go. And like I said, this company is going to end up making me go broke because I just want all the T-shirts on their site. And I do apologize for the people, like I said, walking through. But this is what happens when you're not in your home office. But go to PhillyGoat.com, promo code Jim Montgomery for 10% off of your order. Union in action tonight down in Chester against the San Jose Earthquakes, looking to keep their momentum rolling as they're climbing up the standings, getting back to where they were last year. They've had a week off, so they should be well rested. All right, let's go back to 1972. And on this day, back in 1972, the Braves beat the Phillies 15-3. And 1972 was just a brutal year for the Phillies. They had 59 wins, and Steve Carlton had 27 of them. Newly acquired Steve Carlton, I might add. But the big story from this game was Hank Aaron. He hit a grand slam in the 6th which was his 649th home run that moved him into sole possession of second place on that all-time home run list. He's passing Willie Mays, who was in the twilight of his career, but still had some years left on him. So he hit probably about another 13 home runs. But Hank Aaron moved in front of him for good, trailing only Babe Ruth. This was also his 14th Grand Slam, which tied him for the National League lead with Gil Hodges. Lou Gehrig had the Major League lead. Now it's A-Rod with 25, in case you're scoring at home. And everybody still has the debate on the home run list now that Bonds is up there. That could be a topic we do this summer just to see where you stand. But now Bonds, Aaron, Ruth, Pujols, A-Rod, Mays, Griffey, Tomei, and Sosa are all the guys with 600 home runs. But it was all about Hank Aaron on this day, hitting his 649th homer, moving him into second place on the all-time list, passing Willie Mays against those Phillies. All right, it's still rivalry month. So today we're going to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals, not the NFL St. Louis Cardinals, the Major League Baseball. They are a long-time National League rival of the Phillies, but they did play in the National League East with them. Cardinals have the edge, 1,239 to 977. But some of the highlights where we talked about the Carlton for Rick Wise trade back in 1964. The Cardinals were the team that caught the Phillies when they choked. Another interesting one was the 1970 trade for Curt Flood. He was traded to the Phillies, didn't want to go because of how terrible the team was, and ultimately led to the creation of free agency for Major League Baseball. And then, of course, there's a Scott Rowland connection, and they can have him. That's all St. Louis. Go ahead. But two postseason matchups. We had the 2011 National League Division Series where they lost Game 5, 1-0. Chris Carpenter and Roy Halladay had the pitching duel. Howard tore his Achilles, symbolizing the end of that run. And then, of course, last year, the World Series, Phillies coming back in Game 1, or Wild Card Series when the Phillies went to the World Series. For this one, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for longevity, but there's not a ton of on-the-field moments. This is really the Cardinals dominating the Phillies and just a couple of random things here or there. Not the greatest rivalry, but they were National League East rivals for years. But you have that going for you. But on this day, back in 1972, Braves beat the Phillies 15-3. Hank Aaron hitting his 649th home run, moving into second place. Be sure to go to phillygoat.com. Use that promo code Jim Montgomery. Going to try to hack up another course today. Hopefully I hit them a little bit straighter than I did yesterday. But go have yourselves a Saturday, and until next time, I'll see you when I see you.